Hello guys and welcome to this brand new season of Total Football. Hey!
Done?
Yeah man.
Camera off the pale face. New season, new look, and we thought why not kick it off with a footy kickoff?
Absolutely, a game of football. Speaking of which, how much do you know about Indian football?
Way more than you, white boy.
Really?
Way more than you.
Really uncalled for. I was trying to be nice. Anyhow.
Oh, really? No.
My accent, apart from my accent, I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to show you guys, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit about Indian football. Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Yeah.
Stop with your
I'll
face.
go and fetch.
You go fetch.
You go fetch.
Really? You're going to start like this on camera? You're going to start with this?
Go get the ball. Go get the ball.
Glory hunter. Go show them some skills. Really?
Really? 8 years, right? 8
Really?
years, right? 8 years,
Listen,
right?
are you going to get over it? As with most sports, football in India started with, well, no Indians at all. Rather, it was set up in 1888 as a recreational activity for British troops stationed here. India's then Foreign Secretary Mortimer Durand set up the Durand Cup. Its success and popularity led to the formation of the first Indian Federation, the Indian Football Association, in 1893. That in turn led to the fourth oldest trophy in the world, the IFA Shield. Yes, despite its current state, India can take credit for some of the oldest teams and competitions in football history. Teams like Mohun Bagan were formed and Calcutta became the mecca for football in India. But it wasn't until the turn of the century when actual Indian football began its journey. 1911 saw Mohun Bagan lift the IFA Shield, beating East Yorkshire Regiment 2-1, and in doing so, becoming the first Indian team to win a national trophy. By the 30s, other domestic teams started touring Asia and Australia, and the All India Football Federation came to be. Fast forward to the 1950 World Cup, and the only story that everyone knows about our footballing past. Yes, the touching story of a poor third world team not being allowed to play barefoot. But it wasn't as black and white as that. First of all, we only qualified by default because most of the opposition dropped out. But here's the real story. We refused to go because we didn't really understand what the World Cup was. Just hear what then captain Selen Mana said.
We had no idea about the World Cup then. Had we been better informed, we would have taken the initiative ourselves. For us, the Olympics was everything. There was nothing bigger.
And while the AIFF claimed it was because of a lack of training and funds, the reality was that we just didn't know better. But lack of common football sense aside, that incident prompted an awakening for the minds behind Indian football. The realization that we would embrace and turn into what is now known as the golden era of Indian football. Now, if you ask anyone, this golden era was thanks to one man, Syed Abdul Rahim, or as he was more affectionately known, Rahim Saab. Here was a man whose teachings made India the top team in Asia. This period, from 1951 to 62, had more achievements for Indian football than ever before. 1951, India defeat Indonesia, Afghanistan and Iran to win the Asian Games. 1952, India win the Colombo Quadrangular Cup. 1953, India win the Burma Quadrangular Cup. 1954, India win the Calcutta Quadrangular Cup and finish second in the Asian Games. 1955, India win the Dhaka Quadrangular Cup. 1956, India finished fourth in the Olympics, considered to be the biggest achievement till date in Indian football history. We beat hosts Australia 4-2, and Neville D'Souza becomes the first Asian to score a hat-trick in the Olympics. We also became the first Asian team to reach the Olympic semis. 1958, India finishes fourth in the Asian Games. 1959, India finishes second in the Merdeka Cup. 1962, India wins the Asian Games again, beating South Korea 2-1. Then, the passing of a titan. Rahim Saab died on June 11, 1963. The void left by his demise would later be attributed to the slow and steady decline of Indian football in the years to come. Through the 70s, 80s and 90s, the Indian football team lost their status as Asia's top team and would limp on until eventually everyone's attention turned to cricket and pretty much everything else but football. Come on!
You might be good at the football past, son, but in the present, I lead 2-0, bitches!
Yeah, anyway, while I make my inevitable comeback, you guys check out the Fewz coming up this week's top stories. Good morning, I'm Aditya Vadvani and here are today's top stories. Recent statistics have shown that by 2025, you'll be no further than 6 feet away from an ex-Chelsea manager at any time. Also, current manager Rafael Benitez revealed that his contract was not signed on paper, but in fact, a bar napkin from TGIF. In related news, Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich, aka Roman the Terrible, aka Roman Money Grabovich, has also said this on Pep Guardiola's Twitter account. From @Roman_is_awesome to SexyPep69 saw this and thought of you. We've got a clip from a link that's attached on that video. Let's take a look.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe.
Word also has it he's asked Donald Trump for the rights to the phrase, "You're fired." Doctors have revealed that Arsenal chairman Peter Hill-Wood's recent heart attack was not brought on by a coronary. In fact, it was a condition known as Nostradamus syndrome, whereby a loss to a fourth-tier team like Bradford was predicted, therefore leading to the unfortunate heart attack. Now, Manchester City are doing pretty well in the Premiership, barely losing a game. Money well spent, it seems. However, in the Champions League, they're knocked out after not winning a single game. So, the owner, Sheikh Mansour bin whatever his name is, his response to this was to pull up after hours to UEFA President Michel Platini's house, roll down the windows to his limo and ask, very nice, how much? Whilst in the red half of Manchester, big shot director James Cameron has revealed the plot for his next film, titled The Red Devil's Double. We've got a sneak peek from that film. Check this out. Barcelona star Lionel Messi has recently been arrested for trying to break into Area 51. Word has it, he's trying to phone home. While his arch-rival Cristiano Ronaldo has just launched a new perfume called Big Dip. Now, I bought one myself, it's not bad. Sales have crossed 1 billion euros already, with 25% of the stock going to women, 25% to men, 25% to Elton John, and the rest to an unnamed Indian politician who thinks it'll help people like him better. Finally, Jose Mourinho, the only one, the special one, whoever you think he is on his way out of Real Madrid, we hear. So what's the plan for the future? Well, in light of the recent US presidential elections, he stated he thinks he can do the job better and will be running in 2016 with the campaign slogan, "If you can't beat me, go f*** yourself." Well, those are the top stories for the week. Thank you and good day. Hey, listen, are we cut? Huh? Good, yeah. Listen, who the f*** has got my pants? Seriously. I'm gonna run a f***ing show here.
It's half time and my lead looks hazy, just like Indian football. But there's always a second half, and so is there hope for Indian football. Take a look.
India shall and must play a part in the international family of football.
The checkered history of Indian football is for all to see. India did fail to qualify in the 2004 Asian Cup, but the senior team gained the silver medal in the inaugural Afro-Asian Games, with victories over Rwanda and Zimbabwe, who were then surprisingly 85 places ahead of India in the world rankings. Bob Houghton was later appointed coach of the team in 2006.
It's not easy. With this preparation, I'm looking forward to it. I'm optimistic that we can surprise some people.
Under Houghton, India saw a huge revival in world football. In August 2007, the Indian national team won the Nehru Cup for the first time in its history, beating Syria 1-0. In August the following year, India defeated Tajikistan 4-1 to lift the 2008 AFC Challenge Cup and in turn qualified for the 2011 AFC Asian Cup in Qatar. In 2009 August, India again won the Nehru Cup, beating Syria this time, but in penalties 6-5. With iconic football names like Pele, Maradona, Lionel Messi and Bastian Schweinsteiger gracing the Indian turf, it is not a question of how, but when the beautiful game will get its much delayed yet much deserved position in the Indian sporting map. Add to that a fitting testimonial to the talismanic Baichung Bhutia, who is revered by every football lover in the country, by none other than German giants Bayern Munich.
It's officially the last time that Baichung Bhutia will be coming off the pitch in an India jersey. What a player, what a man, what a moment.
And Sunil Chhetri representing the Indian presence in the USA with the Kansas City Wizards and currently in Portugal with Sporting Lisbon. We at Total Football believe the future is here and the time is now.
I'm going to give my 200%. This is huge for me. I don't know if you can relate to it, but coming from my country, it's a huge opportunity for me. I just want to give everything that I have. I don't know how much can I achieve. I don't know how much can I help the club, but one thing that I know, I would not leave anything inside me. I'll give 100%.
Oh, let's do all. Wait for it. As I said, I made my comeback. It is 2-all. He's got nothing to say. But you guys check out who we caught up with at Underdogs last night on the bench. You're laughing, FYI, the only place you deserve to be.
You want to go?
Come on. Oh! All right, we're at the brand new Underdog Sports Bar in Grill and Ambience Mall, Gurgaon. Crazy place, crazy atmosphere, and we've got a crazy cool guy with us. Now, he's spent most of his time in the United States, specifically 7 years as the ex-director for fan development for MLS, making the sport what it is over there today. Now he's here in India, hoping to do the same thing for Indian football as the director of Libero Sports, India's first and only consultancy agency for football. So, Neel, his name is Neel Shah. Thank you so much for being here on the show with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, well, this is Total Football, Neel, and the first thing I'm going to ask you straight off the bat is how important has the round ball been in your life?
Round ball has been my life, I'd say. You know, growing up in Southern California, I was in Orange County, and I was a pretty shy kid. And around 4 years old, my parents put me into the local football league. And when I was about 15 years old, I got to travel to Europe to go play. I was in Denmark, England, and France. I got to see how important football is to other people in the world as well. So when I came home from that trip, I dedicated my life saying that I will spend the rest of my life helping to grow this sport that's really made a difference to me. And I've been really fortunate to have it in my life.
You know how you can tell he's committed? He doesn't use the S word. And even since he's come from the States, he doesn't use the S word.
It is
Football,
hardcore brainwashing and pushing out.
Excellent.
Soccer is
I
out
like
of
that.
my blood.
So, although Europe did open your mind in terms of football, you have done a lot in terms of MLS. And well, how has the attraction quotient increased in the league so that stars such as the caliber of your Thierry Henry are now playing for the New York Red Bulls and your LA Galaxies? How has that brought about?
In 2007, the league owners realized that the league was at a level where we really could invest in bringing some top quality talent before they're ready to retire. So this David Beckham rule kind of came in. It was essentially the designated player rule. What they saw was not just David Beckham, what they saw was actually a legitimate league.
Right.
So when David came over, and then it opened up the eyes of other players who kind of checked it out. However, the league itself needs to have a stronger base. And once that happens, then anything is possible. And I think in India, it'll take a lot less time than it did in the US once the foundation is set.
What do you define as, what would you define as a foundation?
One thing I did was recognize there's a lot of good things happening at the grassroots level, but it's not really being connected to the top levels at the federation and the I-League and even the large corporates like Adidas and Nike and others. Somehow it's all not coming together. So when I came over to India, I thought, you know, one of the biggest things I wanted was a bunch of young, energetic minds, both boys and girls, who had progressive thinking, who are hopefully well-funded, to come together and do a lot of good things under the radar at first, be able to build case studies and show that the industry stakeholders that things can work in football in India. We can help them get some return on investment on their programs. We can help things for players, put them in the right places, whether it's I-League or help them go to the US or Japan or places where a natural progression. If we can help international clubs build meaningful partnerships in India, if we can start to do those things slowly, we're building a portfolio of successful programs, and then we can really make a thrust to create a transformation in Indian football.
But speaking of India, and well, the Indian flag has been flown in the MLS with Sunil Chhetri appearing for the Kansas City Wizards.
Yes.
And a little known fact for the audience out there, you're right now looking at the man who made that suggestion to the general manager of the Kansas City Wizards as to who should go. That was really surprising for me to hear. And in Neel Shah's ideal world, would you like Indian players to go and ply their trade in Europe, or would you like European heavyweights to probably make a sojourn?
Actually, neither. And the reason why I say that, what I want is young Indian players to go to the US. I want young Indian players to go to Japan. I want young Indian players to go to places where those players aren't going to just get thrown into the fire. I want those players to be nurtured and developed in the right way.
You've been in India for a while. You've seen how football is. Do you really think? Because this is what he and me were discussing, and we had our horns locked. Because do you see the sport? Do you see football in India reaching where you dream of it to be? He was clearly against it.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm a little bit of a skeptic. Fine with cricket's huge, right? The money is always I'm the skeptic that the money is always going to the wrong places.
I'm one, an eternal optimist, but two, I'm a grassroots person. So as an eternal optimist, I'm here because I believe in the sport, I believe in this country, I believe anything is possible in India. As a grassroots person, I believe that it's not about marketing, it's not about just pumping more money in. I think what I've experienced and what I know is what's missing here is just the basic fundamentals of the game. Good people, good environments, good coaching, good structures. So it's not even just about we need more fields or anything like that. What we need is coaches that instill belief, that instill movement, instill volunteerism, instill community. If we can get more top-level coaches, you're going to see a domino effect in a positive way of local communities starting to build up. You're going to start to see local clubs start to build up, leagues that can work because parents see some sort of pathway for their kids, some sort of growth opportunities.
Yeah, we have talent here, we have potential here. Why not market it?
Yeah.
Have we come to that point where you're right, where an 18-year-old would like to say,
is it viable?
Yeah, I will pursue my studies, but eventually I want to be a footballer by profession.
I would tell any player, any guy who's good or a girl who's good at football, go for it. Put your 100% into it because something good will happen later on. If he's even 10, 11, 12 years old now, that by the time he's 18 or 19, there's going to be more residential academies in India, more AIFF residential as well. There'll be more partnerships abroad. So I do think that what he sees now in front of him is not going to be the picture when he's of age to become a professional. The one surprising thing in I-League is that the clubs are spending anywhere from 5 crore to 15 crore on player salaries. So even a young boy who's 21, 22-year-old for playing for Mohun Bagan or East Bengal can make 50 to 60 to 70 lakhs a year.
Right, it's hope. That's all I wanted to hear actually, because there is hope. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you
having
so
this
much.
chat with us, Neel.
Thank you.
Hope for the future, hope for India, hope for football. It's been great chatting to you, Neel. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And we hope to see more of you on this show and on the map.
I hope to see more of the show moving forward, and I really appreciate you having me on.
Because it's not just football.
Hey.
Total football.
I like it, I like it, I like it.
Simba! Nossa, nossa, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, ai, se eu te pego, ai, delícia, delícia, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, ai, se eu te pego, hein? Sábado na balada, a galera começou a dançar e passou a menina mais linda. Tomei coragem e comecei a falar. Como é que é, vai? Nossa, nossa, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, ai, se eu te pego. Delícia, delícia, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, ai, se eu te